architecture diagram of a single node cluster using kind. So there are different tools to create a single node cluster, guys. So for this, we'll use kind tool. So we will ensure that our machine should be like either Windows, you can take Linux, Mac OS, or Docker. So Windows, I'm using like Docker, but since I would be using a environment where I will be using a virtual box, so guys, I will be taking the Linux Ubuntu machine. For my environment, you can take Windows as well as Mac OS according to your compatibility. Now, after that, what I will do, I will install the Docker runtime engine. Means the Docker version, if I have a Windows device, then you can install the Docker desktop for the Windows, whereas I have a Linux environment, guys. So here I will install the Docker engine by command line, and after that, I will create a kind means actually it creates a lightweight environment for a single node cluster. So for this, I will use Docker containerization and so that I can host the nodes on my kind. And after that, the last thing I will do is to maintain the clustering formation. Is once I have a control plane node, then that will be one of my container which would be hosted in my Kubernetes single node cluster. Then in that way, I will define all the components here, core components like the kubectl through API server. These are the Kubernetes components where my cluster will be hosted. So there will be API servers, scheduler, and controller and manager. So these are the list of. Okay, so once I will run the pods inside the nodes, so through a kubelet command and kube-proxy, which is used for networking, etcd, this will be the clustering database, which is used for managing the clusters, and controller manager who would be managing the control plane node. Now, after that, we'll schedule and run our workload pods. Since this is a single node cluster, so no separate worker nodes will be there. So I will start it with my Linux OS, which would be my Ubuntu operating system where I will be creating the cluster. Okay, so let's go to my virtual box here, guys. I will log in and which is the virtual box. Get my virtual box here, which is this is virtual box user in my and I have logged in to Putty, which is our SSH terminal I have done. So from the Ubuntu box, I will do the terminal command. You can install it by a terminal, or you can do the SSH to the IP address which to the machine. So I have done SSH to the putty box, and from here the virtual box user I logged in, and then I will follow the command line interface for managing time. The quickly I will give you the review of what we have done here. Now after the machine is hosted, like I have taken a Linux Ubuntu machine here. Now I will use the Docker engine runtime environment. So guys, what I have done here, I have installed the Docker. Here you can see that the Docker version is there, Docker version, which is 26.1.3, and you can see the previous video also for the Docker installation I have done. And after that, I have run this command like a curl-lo, which is the command line for our installing kind. So through curl library, it will fetch the API, the URL of the kind official website. You can go here and also check the downloads. So if I can go here, a virtual box, I can paste it here, the link. So like that way, you can download this curl library, and once download, you can see that we can get permissions by chmod plus x to the kind folder, to the file config file, and here sudo I will give move command, which is mv direct this file dot kind file to the user kind folder. Okay, and after that it will ask me to create a cluster, so I will write the command kind create cluster. So since guys, as our agenda is we are creating a single node cluster here, so I have created a cluster here, and you can see that it is writing the configuration. Now after that we will check for the cluster information. So here I will either I can type here as well as here also, since the kind is installed, so I will write the command here cluster info to get the information of the cluster as per the command this which we have given, cluster hyphen info kubectl, which will be the command line interface. So I can go to putty configuration again, and I will do the, or here also you can do cluster info unknown command. Okay, it's not identifying the command. kubectl basically we have to do. So let's check, guys. You can do the full screen here, and now let's check here what the command they are saying. Okay, kubectl cluster info. So I will directly copy this command and paste it. So it will get the information of the cluster nodes, single node cluster, since we are building using kind. So this is our agenda here. So code NS is running at this and to further use kubectl info dem. So it will asking us for the diagnosis for the dump file. Actually, it is getting some kind of a, this is the dump file, and resource, see guys, the pod list is there and resource version is there. This is the deployment list. So this is the data they have given fetched from the API, and the if control plane node is there, API version. This is our YAML file where it is, we can see the metadata, the control plane they have created. As per our diagram, you can see that Docker engine is installed, and we have created a Kubernetes nodes as a Docker container, and after that we have created a control plane which is a container node. So kind is creating a control plane for us. So this is our control plane name, which is hosted on Docker image. Okay, and this is the UID, user ID, and this is the timestamp on which it is created, guys. So this is our single node control plane in our Kubernetes. In the next video, we will check about our schedules and how the workload pods will be working, and we can see the worker nodes. I will zoom it out, the worker pods, and we'll deal with the nginx, which is managing the API services and the deployment of the services for a Kubernetes, guys. Thank you for watching.